And it's happening. I just woke up. I didn't have a plan to make this at all today, but here it is. The Nintendo Direct, the general Nintendo Direct, the big one, is returning. And I'm just gonna say it, I don't even care about being humble right now. I've been saying this for a very, very, very long time, yet many people have continually dissed, insulted, made fun of me, and critiqued my belief in the Direct returning. We've been talking about this for over a year, saying that logically, it had to return. That it just made the most sense, and here it is. I'm not gonna even play back a single clip of me saying it, because if you just look at my channel, it's pretty clear. I've always thought the Nintendo Direct would return. I didn't talk about Directs for clickbait. Talked about it because I thought it would happen. And you know, but I'll also kind of concede that I wasn't prepared to see it this morning. I think we've gotten so used to the silence, the quiet, that I'm a little. It's a little surreal. It hasn't entirely settled in yet that this is a reality, and that tomorrow we will be seeing the return of the general Nintendo Direct. But yes, this will be, I guess, a impromptu last-minute predictions video for this massive 50-plus minute Nintendo Direct that will also include information on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's what we're focusing on today. If you'd like to check out my different social medias, for sure, go for it. It's linked in the description below, and of course, if you like what you're seeing here, subscribe. So where do we start with these predictions? Well, let's go ahead and just read the actual tweet here. Tune in February 17th, which is tomorrow as of this recording, at 2 p.m. Pacific time for a Nintendo Direct live stream featuring roughly 50 minutes of information focused on available games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and games coming to Nintendo Switch in the first half of 2021. Just for the record, we are absolutely definitely live streaming this, so stay tuned. But I think the first obvious prediction is that we're going to talk about Smash Brothers. So let's just cover that first. Why would they mention Smash Brothers, a game that's already been out since holiday 2018? This is the beginning of 2021. Yes, we know we're getting DLC throughout this year, but is it really worth mentioning Smash Brothers as a bit of a focus in this Nintendo Direct? Well, I think what's important to note here is that they don't say it's a focus, they're just saying available games like Smash Brothers. So I think they're really just sort of telling us something that we would know about, and everything else in this Direct is gonna be new. Or most of the things in this Direct are gonna be new, and they didn't want to drop any sort of spoilers for this. But again, let's focus on Smash Brothers. So if it is for Smash Brothers, as I already alluded to, I don't think it's going to be the focus of the Direct. So I'm not expecting a whole bunch of new information for Smash Bros. In the sense that they're going to be like, oh, well, you know what? You know that Fire Splash Volume 2? Nah, we're doing more than that. We're doing Volume 3. And here's a whole bunch of Echo characters and new stages. I would love to see something like that, but I don't think that's happening. I think what's happening is that we are getting the next reveal, which to me is very interesting because this is February. In December we got Sephiroth, in October we got Steve. It does look like that window of Smash character reveals has sped up considerably. And at this point, they are definitely on pace to finish out the Smash DLC well before the end of the year. So I'm not really expecting any Smash news at the Game Awards for 2021. But anyway, who is this character gonna be? Well, lately people have been speculating and hoping for Crash Bandicoot. We recently got the confirmation of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is coming to Nintendo Switch and other new platforms, but that has sort of really pushed forward this idea that he could be the next big character. I definitely think it's a possibility, but I'm not going to assume this is the case. I'm kind of thinking that a Crash Bandicoot kind of reveal might make a little bit more sense for an E3-like event or a Game Awards-like event, similar to how we saw Sephiroth at the Game Awards. I'm kind of thinking and hoping that this character is going to be a Nintendo character. I could be wrong, I could be mistaken, but I think, maybe it could be the case. We're getting a 50-minute direct here from Nintendo. We haven't seen a Nintendo direct since September of 2019. They may be revealing a lot of games, a lot of first-party stuff, and I can easily see how there could be some sort of cross-promotion here depending on what franchises they're going to be showing off. Maybe we're going to be seeing some Metroid announcements. Maybe they show off Silex as a character. Maybe they're going to go hard into the Zelda anniversary stuff and they want to show off a new Zelda character. Maybe we're going to be seeing a new Xenoblade game, or we're going to be seeing Rex and Pyra added to Smash Bros. There's a lot of possibilities there. Of course, I don't want to completely discount the idea that we'll be seeing another third-party character. Fire Pass Volume 1 had 5 of the 6 characters be third-party, and so far for Fire Pass Volume 2, it's been 2 of 3. So it's very well possible that we could be seeing even more third-party characters coming. It just may be a character that's very, very hype and is going to leave a lot of people, well, excited. But we'll see what happens tomorrow regarding Smash Bros. But what about everything else? So, given that this Direct is focusing on first half of 2021 stuff, I am expecting 1 to 2 Metroid announcements. I know, we've been talking about Metroid for a very long time and we haven't gotten anything from it, but I'll also say, we've been talking about Nintendo Directs happening for a very long time and we didn't get anything from it until today. So, maybe tomorrow, another broken clock will be right again. Who knows? We'll see. But I definitely think we'll finally see some sort of Metroid announcement. I've told you guys about the whole Fortnite crossover thing. I think if there's a time to do it, it would be in a Nintendo Direct around February or March. This is February. This is the biggest Direct we've seen since like E3 2019. So yeah, I definitely think if there's gonna be some sort of Metroid, Samus, Fortnite crossover thing similar to what Sony and Microsoft have done with their big characters, this is the time it will happen. But why would I even bring up Fortnite? Who cares about Fortnite? I mean, I play it sometimes, but I know a lot of people don't care for it and they wouldn't really like to see Samus in Fortnite. But this would be great marketing for the series, and it would definitely make sense to do, and they have other Metroid games coming out in 2021, which I believe they do. I'm thinking too, I might be a little bit optimistic now, feeling myself because the Nintendo Direct is actually happening, but I've been under the belief that for Metroid's 35th anniversary, we would at least be seeing Prime Trilogy, which would be this upcoming August. But August is the second half of 2021. What about the first half of 2021? Well, let me take you back to last year where we saw that Paper Mario trailer and they were showing a Samus helmet. And then also there's a whole bunch of rumors of 2D Metroid, and we've talked about on the channel how it seems very likely that Mercury Steam could be working on the next 2D Metroid game. Well, if you consider all of these things, maybe it was the case that initially they were planning to have some sort of Metroid game come out in 2020, but it was delayed due to COVID. If that's the case, then maybe that game was pushed up a few months and we're going to be seeing it in the first half of 2021. Yeah, I think we're probably going to see some sort of Metroid announcement. Even if it's not 2D Metroid, something's happening. Maybe they finally show us Prime Trilogy. Maybe they give us a Prime 4 teaser, even if the game's coming out later, just because they want to have a massive Nintendo Direct to really show good faith to the fans. Maybe. But either way, I'm going to stand by my thinking that we will be seeing some Metroid goodness in this Direct. My hope, and somewhat of an expectation, is that we get confirmation of 2D Metroid coming out this year, and maybe even they tie in some sort of Fortnite Metroid crossover event, similar to how we saw Sony add Kratos to Fortnite since they're having God of War come out this year, and also similar to how Microsoft added Halo to Fortnite and they're having Halo come out this year. I'm thinking Nintendo won't actually be the odd one out, and they're going to add Samus to Fortnite since there's Metroid coming out this year. But we'll see what actually happens. So let's talk about other potential anniversaries, since we already mentioned Metroid. There's a few others that I think will be celebrated to some extent. Donkey Kong. There are rumors of Donkey Kong. I think the Mario Odyssey team is probably working on a new Donkey Kong game actually, and it makes sense for Nintendo to maybe do something Donkey Kong related especially considering that there are clear plans to have a Donkey Kong expansion for Super Nintendo World. Why expand to Donkey Kong as opposed to Animal Crossing or Zelda or Splatoon or Pokemon if there's not even a big mainline Donkey Kong game that's out that could help push and market things? Well, maybe they are planning one, and Donkey Kong, in terms of lore and universe, is right next to Mario, so that might be a bit of a natural extension there. But also, the Mario Odyssey team could definitely pull off a pretty good Donkey Kong game. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we might see confirmation of this Donkey Kong now. Granted, this is for the first half of 2021. We're already in February. There's only a few months left for the first half of 2021. They may not show off this Donkey Kong game yet, but I just want to put it out there that may be the case. A lot of people in the comments and different videos have asked me about when I would actually talk about Kirby. Well, this is the time. I'm talking about Kirby. I think we're going to see a new Kirby game. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a giant 3D open world Kirby game, but I think Hal has been teasing things, and I think it's happening. I think we'll see something Kirby. I don't think that's crazy. We'll see something Kirby like every other year or even beyond that. So yes, I think Kirby will be happening. We'll see it in this Direct. Going on to another anniversary, I think there's a chance we see something for Pokemon. Now, usually Pokemon does things separately from the rest of Nintendo. Usually we get separate Pokemon Directs. So that may come next week, especially since it'll be closer to Pokemon's 25th anniversary. They usually talk about things then, but it's possible they may at least tease something during this Direct, or at least show off new Pokemon Snap, which is already a known quantity, which is coming out this April. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised to see at least some mention here, but I'm not expecting the Diamond and Pearl remakes to be confirmed until later this month. Another anniversary that's come up recently is Fire Emblem. Not saying that Nintendo does everything for anniversaries, but since we're talking about anniversaries, I'm mentioning it. I also think that they're probably working on another Fire Emblem game. They had 3 Houses come out in 2019, and usually they like to come out with several Fire Emblem games per platform, per generation. So I think they probably have another one in the works, and they usually like doing at least one remake in between big games. So maybe they're doing another remake here using the 3 Houses engine to get it done quicker, which would explain a Fire Emblem release in 2021. So I'm putting it out there, that might be happening, and we may see it in this Direct. But continuing the discussion of potential RPGs we could be seeing from Nintendo, let's talk about another one. A game from Monolith Soft. They've been making hires for a big, ambitious new game since 2017. Monolith Soft has several studios. The last big new game we saw from them was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 back in 2017. Now, I haven't forgotten about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition that came out in 2020. Last year. Why would they have another? Again, they have several studios. That was a remaster, well, not a fully ground up new game. And as I said, they've been developing stuff since 2017, probably from multiple teams. I think there's a really good chance we could see at least one of their games confirmed during this presentation. It may not happen during this presentation, but it's one of the big things that Nintendo has had in the works for a very long time. And speaking of big things that Nintendo has had in the works for a very long time, Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 was confirmed for the Nintendo Switch to be in development late 2017 at the Game Awards. We've seen nothing since. We've seen just Hideki Kamiya telling us that, don't worry, development's going well. Well, it's been about 3.5 years, Kamiya. You think it's about time you tell us something? You might tell us something. I think there's a really good chance of that. This is a 50-minute General Nintendo Direct. I'm expecting big stuff, big exciting stuff. I'm not even worried about overhyping here. There's gonna be great things. Granted, we're not gonna see everything. So, if we don't get everything in this Direct, that's alright. The General Nintendo Direct has returned. We will likely see more later throughout the year. So, fret not, more cool information's coming. And maybe we see Bayonetta 3 later into the year. But I am bringing it up as another possibility to be discussed now. Before I talk about the big thing, which is Zelda, I want to talk about one more little thing. F-Zero, and actually, it might not be a little thing. I'm not saying F-Zero is actually happening. I want F-Zero to happen. It's not really a prediction. But the prediction comes from the knowledge that the team that developed ARMS and developed Mario Kart 8 hasn't come out with a game since ARMS, which was in 2017. 2021, at some point, will be 4 years since then. That is more than enough time for them to make another big game. And here's the interesting thing to consider. Recently, Nintendo's changed around their online servers. That team is good with making online multiplayer Nintendo games. Maybe they're going to have at least one big online multiplayer game that will be a showcase for this. I think that is very possible. And it's why I bring up F-Zero. They may just do another Mario Kart. That would be fine. I would love to get some new tracks. I would love some new mechanics. Absolutely. But given that they didn't confirm that to any extent during the Mario Anniversary Direct and we got Mario Kart Live Circuit, I think Mario Kart 9 is a little bit of a ways off. So they're working on something else. An F-Zero game, an online multiplayer F-Zero game, might be really cool to see. And you might say, well, why would they do F-Zero? It's such a fringe franchise from Nintendo. Why wouldn't they bank on something that's more of a shoe-in to perform really well sales-wise? I'll counter that by saying that they were comfortable with that team working on ARMS, which is a new IP, and it did relatively well. I would say that F-Zero has even more potential than ARMS if they pushed it and advertised it correctly. Not to mention, Nintendo already has so many great evergreen titles on the Switch that are continually selling. I think they can afford to experiment a little bit now since they already have all those big games selling in the background. And by doing this, they actually can find more success because they may be able to find games that can establish new audiences, and those could become recurring franchises. So we could see more new IPs from Nintendo, or we could be seeing some revived franchises, such as F-Zero. So I'm hoping that maybe that ARMS Mario Kart team is working on a big online multiplayer F-Zero game, and we see it perhaps at least teased during this Direct. Do I expect that? Not necessarily, but it's another one of those things that's definitely possible. So let me talk about something I expect. I've been talking about the channel for a little bit, that once Nintendo's done with Bowser's Fury, they would then move on to start advertising and pushing another big anniversary. Zelda. Zelda's 35th anniversary is on February 21st. That is the weekend. This is the final week before then. It would be strange for Nintendo to pass by Zelda's anniversary and make no mention of it. Nintendo's even recently mentioned Paper Mario's anniversary. So at the very least, I believe Nintendo will have mention of Zelda, but I'm predicting far beyond just mention here. We've been continually seeing trademarks for different games and merchandising over the last year or so for Zelda. It makes sense. Zelda's 35th anniversary will be celebrated, similar to Mario. Maybe not in the exact same way. If you look at the different videos I've been making in the last few months, I've talked about how, yeah, maybe Nintendo will do something for Zelda in February, but not necessarily a Zelda-specific Direct. Maybe a Direct Mini, maybe a general Nintendo Direct, and that's what we're getting tomorrow. So I think a big focus during this Direct will be for Zelda, absolutely, and there'll be several Zelda announcements. What will those announcements be? One of them I expect to be Skyward Sword HD, and I expect that to come out in the first half of 2021. I'm thinking this May, maybe sooner, hard to say, but that's what I'm thinking. This May, and I think maybe we could see some other smaller Zelda releases come out on the eShop between now and then. Maybe we see a 3D All-Stars like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. That would be awesome to see. It's also worth noting that we may finally see Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD ported over to the Switch. Perhaps they come in a triple pack alongside Skyward Sword. That is possible. But either way, regardless of how it's packaged, I believe Skyward Sword will be playable on the Nintendo Switch by this May. That is my prediction. Going beyond that, I think we will finally get confirmation of Breath of the Wild 2's annual release date. I think they will confirm it for 2021, and we will get another teaser trailer with a little bit more information. Maybe a snippet of gameplay, maybe some dialogue from Ganondorf, or even Link. How cool would that be? Or at least mind-blowing, even if you're not excited about it. I think they could do something crazy like that to close out the Nintendo Direct. That's what I'm thinking. And that's a prediction. Not necessarily predicting that Ganondorf will talk in this trailer, but I think it's possible. But I do think we will see another teaser trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 confirming a 2021 release. And that's going to be really, really exciting. We've been using the same footage of that sequel trailer for over a year and a half now to talk about all things Breath of the Wild. We're finally going to get a little bit more footage here. And we are going to analyze the brains, the digits, the pixels. We're going to analyze the crap out of it. It's going to be great. I am excited. I can't wait. So, yeah, we'll be streaming that Nintendo Direct tomorrow. It's going to be a good time. It's 50 minutes. Even if we don't get everything I talked about in this video, I'm sure we'll get some of those things. And I'm sure there'll be other things that were not mentioned that will also be pretty exciting to see. I'm sure you guys have some great ideas that I have not brought up in this video. This was an impromptu last-minute predictions video. So for sure, please tell me what you guys think will be happening tomorrow in the comments. But before I send you guys off, I just want to say that the return of the Nintendo Direct is pretty awesome. Because not only are we going to be getting a lot of amazing Nintendo news, but it also goes to show that sometimes, you know, you just gotta have a little faith. And good things will happen. But anyways, everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care.